At work, Edward often listened to Mr. Hungerton. They usually talk about economics, but he always gets bored about it. He just tolerated this because he was in love with his daughter Gladys. One evening, Edward listened to Mr. Hungerton for a long time. Finally, he left. Ed now had a chance to speak to Gladys. Pausa.
Yeah.
Hi, Edward. How are you? You look a little bit pale. Yeah, sorry. I'm nervous. Ed took his time to speak, but she replied very strong and confident. You are in love with me, aren't you? If there was a way for Ed to be even paler, he was. And that little box in your hands, is that a ring? Gladys was surprised and shocked, just like Ed. How do you know? A woman always knows. But Edward, I don't love you. I love somebody else. Who? Nobody really. I love the idea of someone. I want to love a hero. Somebody like the great explorers Richard Burton and Lord Stanley. A man who has nearly seen death. A great hero. When I marry, I want to marry a great man. Then I'll do something great for you. When you do, come back. We can talk about marriage then. Ed left her and went to work. When he arrived at the offices of the newspaper, the Daily Gazette, he went to see his boss, the new editor, Mr. McCarthy. You are doing a very good job. Thank you very much, sir. I want to ask you a favor. What is it? Could you possibly send me on a mission for the paper? Then I could write some good article for you. What kind of mission, Mr. Malone? Well, anything with adventure and danger. Do you really want to die so young? No, I want to do something heroic with my life. Well, the age of exploration and romance is over. No, wait, I have an idea. What about exposing a fraud? You could show that he's a liar. Do you like that idea? Yes, anything is good. Well, I'm sure that you can talk to this man. You're good at making friends with people. Thank you, sir. So try to talk to Professor Challenger. Challenger? Professor Challenger? The famous zoologist? The man who attacked Blumble, the journalist of the Telegraph? Well, you say you want adventure. Yes, I do, but what exactly has Professor Challenger done? He went to South America on an expedition 2 years ago. He came back last year. He certainly went to South America, but he doesn't want to say where exactly. He started to tell everyone about his adventures. However, when people ask him questions, he never replies. Something wonderful happened, or the man is a very good liar. He has some photographs in bad condition, but scientists say they are fakes. When journalists tried to talk to him, he just threw them down the stairs. Well, Mr. Malone, this is your mission. Goodbye. His meeting was over. Now, he had to make a plan to meet Professor Challenger. He knew that he hated journalists, so he decided to write him a letter saying he was interested in science. This is the letter that he wrote. Okay. Dear Professor Challenger, I am only a student of nature and science, but I am very interested in your ideas on the debate between the scientists August Weismann and Charles Darwin. I would very much like to discuss some of your ideas. I believe you are the real expert on this matter. I have many questions to ask you about this fascinating subject. Please, could I visit you at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning? Yours respectfully, Mr. Edward D. Malone. Later, he received a letter from Professor Challenger. Dear sir, I received your letter. You can come to my house. However, I am a great scientist and I do not need your opinion, your good opinion of me. Show this letter to my servant when you arrive. I do not want any of those horrible journalists in my house. Yours faithfully, George Edward Challenger, Professor Challenger. The next day, Ed went to his house. A servant opened the door. The next day, Ed went to his house. A servant opened the door. Is Professor Challenger expecting you? Yes, he is. Have you got the letter? Ed showed the letter to the servant and walked in. A small woman stopped him. She looked more French than English, boss. Do you really know my husband? Do you already know my husband? No, I don't. Well, then I must apologize for him now. He's a perfectly impossible person. Do not argue with him. He can be dangerous. Do you want to talk about South America? Yes, madam. Ed could not lie to a lady. Oh, that's a very dangerous subject. Just say that you agree with him. Call me if he seems dangerous. I can usually control him. The servant then led him into led him into Professor Challenger's study. Ed was surprised when he saw Mr. Challenger had a very large head and a big black beard. His chest and arms were enormous. "Well, I'm a student who want to ask you some questions about Weismann and Darwin. Perhaps your opinion of Weismann was too critical, and recent experiments show that maybe he's right." "Well, you know that the cranial index is a constant factor, naturally, and that germplasm is different from the parthenogenetic eggs." "Oh yeah, but what does this show?" "I don't know. What does it show?" "It shows that you're one of those horrible journalists and you're not a young scientist. I talk no sense to you. My words have no real meaning." He stood up and Ed was surprised because he was extremely short. He began to walk in Ed's direction. "You mustn't attack me, but I will." Challenger attacked Ed in a second. They went quickly out of the front door into the street. Fortunately, just then a policeman arrived and said, "What's happening?" "This man attacked me. Do you want me to arrest him?" "No." The policeman walked away. Then the professor looked at Ed and smiled a little. The policeman looked at Ed and smiled a little. "Come in. I want to tell you something more." They entered his house again. Mr. Challenger was extremely angry. Mr. Challenger was extremely angry. "You are terrible. You're not a famous professor at a great university because you always attack people." The professor grabbed his wife and put her on the top of a pillar. "Put me down!" "Say please." "No, put me down now." "No, say please, 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 please." Then the professor took her down and gave her a big kiss. After this, the professor and Ed returned to his study. After this, Ed and Professor Challenger returned to his study. "I'm to talk to you about South America. 2 years ago, I went on a journey to South America. I went to the Amazon to check some observation of the scientists' Wallace and Bates. During my stay in the Amazon, I became a friend of the Kucama Indians. They told me that there was a sick man that needed help, but before I arrived, the man died. I was surprised, however, when I saw him. He was a white man, not an Indian. His name was Maple White, and he was from the United States. He was an artist. Here are some of his pictures." Ed looked at them. Some of them were Indians, and others were of different animals like turtles and alligators. Ed looked at them. Some of them were from Indians, and others were from different animals like turtles and alligators. Well, Ed looked at them. Some were of the Indians, and others were of different animals like turtles and alligators. "Well, this don't seem very unusual. Look at the next one." It was a picture of a cliff with a thin, high tower of a rock in front of it. "I don't know anything about rocks." "Well, try the next picture then." The next one was of a man next to a huge and very strange lizard. "Why did he draw this?" "I don't know. Perhaps he drank too much gin. Or perhaps he really saw this creature." Ed wanted to laugh, but he didn't want to fight with him again. "The Indians took me to the cliffs and Maple White's drawings. I took some photographs. Most of them got wet during my journey home. Here is one that you can still see. Look." Edward looked carefully at the photograph, but it was not in a very good condition. "What do you see?" "I see the same cliffs and the rock tower of the drawing." "Yes, of course, but what do you see on the top of the rock tower?" "I can see a tree." "And on the top of the tree?" "A large pig." "It's not a bird at all." The doctor was angry of Edward's answer, so he pulled a wing out. ¿Cómo que recoges algo ya? No.